Okay, Nish, thank you so much for giving that kind, introduction, and I'm honored to be here. I first of all thank Dr. Das for inviting me for this webinar, and he has been asking me to be part of this um, webinars he's presenting um, on his institute. But the last time I was not being able to take part, but this time I'm here. Anyway, it's an honor to be here. I wouldn't take really long time because previous speaker, our Admiral, Rear Admiral has actually spoken, I think, on behalf of me as well. I mean, these young scientists are remarkable, and I congratulate them for their well thought out research work. And I think we have seen research work elsewhere, but sometimes you don't really understand what the methodology really speaks about. But here it's different because the young scientists have actually developed the methodology in a coherent way and then got the data and tested and then presented the data in a way that actually in a very simple manner so that even non-scientists can understand. Non-scientists like myself can understand that. I'm afraid I'm not actually a scientist like you are. I'm a fisheries economist by profession. So I'm more interested in managing fisheries and fishery resources. And I speak more about managing the natural resources rather than looking into biotic and abiotic conditions of the ocean. So anyway, I must say I was impressed by some of these presentations. I must admit some of these presentations are actually the jargons, the technological concepts that presented is new to me even. Okay, but then I learned a lot as well, and I was very impressed by their presentation and especially the way it is presented. Very simple, very short, but it is very easy to understand and digest. So I congratulate all of you for your very well presented research work. Okay, looking at, I want to actually highlight three particular points. One is in our region, I think it's not very common that people looking into ocean and finding out the problems that we have, and also how we may actually improve ocean governance and how we may get benefits from the oceanic resources that surrounds us. For instance, India is a large EEZ, and but they don't have a large tuna fisheries. They don't have a large tuna fisheries, and if you see other countries, European Union and Chinese and others are actually fishing in the Indian Ocean and getting the best, out of it, and they are deriving benefit from it. And the best the coastal countries are getting is some nominal resource rent in terms of excess fees. These are very small amounts. So I think it's about the time that we take the ocean resources seriously, management of it very seriously. Right now, the Indian Ocean Tuna Commission is the only body managing the tuna resources in the Indian Ocean, but other resources like squid and and other fishes are not really managed. They have been harvested and the stocks are being decimated. Okay, my point is I'm very happy to note that, India is actually developing the technology not only to go to space, to moon and Mars, but also looking into underwater, you know, um, that actually will benefit our coastal communities immensely. So I think I'm very happy to note that. I've seen two Indian scientists going to tuna commissions and really speaking about technical things rather than management aspect of it. Okay, but I think India being one of the having the largest EEZ should actually take responsibility of managing these resources with other coastal countries as well. So that is very important. So when you speak about how to detect vessels, farms using the technology, these are very promising because one of the problems that we have in the Indian Ocean is actually illegal fishing. And that comes with a lot of other problems as well. Illegal fishing associated with the drug smuggling and the arms smuggling, all that related to that. So if we can detect easily the vessels without paying active fees for the vessel satellites, then that's a way to do that. But I know that that also requires coordination and cooperation with other coastal countries, but the willingness is more important. I think I'm also very much interested to note that the El Nino, he associate heat waves are actually causing, you know, havoc in the Indian Ocean. The human-induced climate change um, is a major problem, and countries like Maldives are especially suffering from this. And there's been questions about the very existence of Maldives. The sea level rise apparently, will increase, and our islands submerged one day. But the real problem is, what are we going to do about it? Or what can we do? And but with the new knowledge, even Maldivians are now, more optimistic that we can survive because we have learned how to build new islands. We have to learn how to cope with the increasing sea level rise, and we are learning actually new strategies how to cope with the increasing sea level rise. Similarly, the fisheries is changing in the Maldives too because the heat waves, El Nino, La Nina impact over the years has actually shifted the fish aggregation patterns in the Indian Ocean. With a heat wave, the much valuable yellowfin tuna and big-eye tuna is moving downwards. That means with surface level, we can't catch them as we are catching before. But skipjack still forms schools at surface level, but then we have the personas catching that before we catch them using pole line. And detection and monitoring of fishing fleets are very important. So I'm very happy to note some of your young scientists have actually come up with new ideas that we can probably use. Um, Vessel monitoring VMS is very expensive for our small fleets. AIS is not much of use because they can switch it off. VMS can be done as well, but probably the secondary data that you have suggested, we can find out, more about the patterns of these illegal fishers as well. So once again, I note that the new methodology is very useful. And also using the satellite, not only you can detect the fish farms, but also other features, relating to coastal erosion and the changes in reef structures and also livelihood patterns, agriculture, and all that can be detected, and measures can be implemented as a result of that. So I was very interested to know some of these new technology, new ideas that your young scientists have presented. And once again, I congratulate you. I have I'm really sorry that I was a bit late to join, but I've been hearing your presentation and making notes is that you went along. So I'm sure there'll be another opportunity to engage with you guys at a later stage. Thank you. Thank you very much.